Hello, this is a short video presentation that should be a review of Algebra 1. I'm not sure if you guys covered this. Right now this year, the Algebra 1 kids are covering it right now, but we're going to review it nonetheless. All right, rule number 1 is multiplying like bases. Multiplying like bases. If I have x to the a times x to the b, it's equal to x to the a plus b. All right? So x to the third times x to the fifth equals x to the eighth. When we multiply like bases, we add the exponents. And this is pretty easy to see. If I have 2 squared times 2 cubed, 2 squared is 2 times 2 times 3 2's, 2 times 2 times 2. Altogether, I have 5 2's. It's equal to 2 to the fifth. All right? So when we multiply like bases, we add the exponents. All right, that's rule number 1, and that's a biggie. Yeah, they're all big. All right, rule number 2. Power to a power. Power to a power. If we have x to the a times, or not times, raised to the b power, it's equal to the x to the ab. We multiply the exponents. So if I have x to the third raised to, I keep saying times, the second power, it's x to the 3 times 2, or x to the sixth. Again, this is easy to see. If I have 2 to the second raised to the third, that means I'm taking the base, 2 to the second, and I'm multiplying it by itself 3 times. That's what this 3 means. There's 3 of them. And that last 3 is a 2. So let's see, 2. And if we refer to our previous rule, when we multiply like bases, we add the exponents. 2 to the 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is 6. 2 to the sixth power. Also with this rule, if we have x to the a times y to the b power raised to the q power, that's a q, it's x to the ab, aq, times y to the bq. Each one of these is raised to the q power, and we multiply the exponents. Q times a, q times b. So a good example would be 2x cubed y squared raised to the 4th power. That's equal to 2 to the 4th, x to the 3 times 4, and obviously you would never write this down, and y to the 2 times 4. I'm just showing you where the numbers are coming from. 2 to the 4th power is 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, 3 times 4 is 12, 2 times 4 is 8, y to the 8th, That's my final answer. Very similar rule to multiplying, very similar rule to our first rule, where we multiply like bases, is dividing like bases. Dividing like bases. If I have x to the a divided by x to the b, that's equal to x to the a minus b. We just subtract. So if I have x to the 7th over x to the 3rd, that's equal to x to the 7 minus 3, or x to the 4th. And again, this is pretty easy to see. We'll use 7 and 3. If I have 2 to the 7th over 2 to the 3rd, that's 2 times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I hope I counted right, over 1, 2, 3. We can cancel like common factors. Those are common, those are common. And darn it, I did it again. That's a 2. And this common factor. And I'm left with 2 to the 4th, which again is 16. All right. Now let's look at powers to a 0. Powers to 0. If I have x to the 4th over x to the 4th, since I have the exact same numerator and the exact same denominator, that's equal to 1. But if I use this previous rule, when we divide like bases, we subtract the exponents, I get x to the 4 minus 4, which is x to the 0, but we know this is equal to 1, so x to the 0 is 1. Anything to the 0 power is equal to 1. All right? So if I have x squared y cubed raised to the 0, that's 1. If I had 2x y to the 4th raised to the 0, that's 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. All right, last thing we want to look at is negative exponents. I think this is the 5th thing. Negative exponents. Now, let's look at x to the 3rd over x to the 5th. That's equal to x times x times x over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cancel common factors. 1, those cancel, those cancel, those cancel. I'm left with 1, have to have a numerator, over x squared. If we use our rule that we just talked about, where we subtract the exponents, 3 minus 5 is x to the negative 2, is equal to 1 over x squared. So, the rule, and it's not really kind of a formally written out rule, but if we have x raised to a negative power, negative a, is equal to 1 over x to the a. Likewise, if I have 1 over x to the negative a, that's equal to x to the a. We never want negative exponents. Always. And I'm not going to tell you this, but anytime you write down an answer, always have positive exponents. Positive exponents. Exponents. So if I give you x to the 5th divided by x to the 9th, that's equal to 5 minus 9 is negative 4. Your final answer would be 1 over x to the 4th. Likewise, if I had x to the 3rd over y to the negative 2, and we'll put a 2 in here, raised to the negative 3, that's equal to 2 to the negative 3, x to the negative 9. So there's a 1 right here. Even though you don't see it, there's a 1. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3 over y to the 6th power. Negative 2 times negative 3 is 6. Now, I bring this stuff down. 2 to the negative 3 becomes 2 to the positive 3. X to the 9th. Y to the 6th. Make my negative exponents positive by moving them. And lastly, 2 to the 3rd power. 8. X to the 9th. Y to the 6th. All right, I guess this video turned out to be a little long. Lots of stuff to go over. All of it pretty simple. And we'll spend a couple days working on this. Have a great day. Talk to you later.